Well, I think before the international break, I know Didier Deschamps mentioned in jest a little bit about Oli Giroud, and that was obviously quite light-hearted, and I get it. We all have our selection problems, and he had his in the 2 games himself. But the Kante one was not a laughing matter, because we communicated before the last international break, because he was injured, so couldn't go. So let's think of what benefits to play. He didn't go. We both agreed on that. So that's how things should work. And after the first game, when he pulled out, he then had a fitness test the day before the second game. Clear that he couldn't play. He then sat on the bench on the evening of the game. So that's not communication. So it's not such a laughing matter, I suppose. And it's more for Kante himself, because he's not an inexperienced player. He's been around the block. He's won World Cups. He's been a fantastic player. So I think that could have been handled better for sure. No, there was our doctors were speaking, and there was some time where things weren't coming back to us as I'd expect them to come back. That's what I mean about communication. So even though we joked about the communication from the time before, that was much better to deal with it as opposed to not. So we got a player back a bit later. I understand when players are on international duty, they're their player as such, but it was quite clear he wasn't fit to play. So from our point of view, we'd have wanted him back to work on him, but it's been and gone. And as with every international player, I would always try and have open lines of communication with the manager for both our sakes. For Kante, for instance, the first squad, nobody would have benefited from him going, me, him, or France. We have to think about the long term and the care of the player as well. So that sometimes I get is a bit of a grey area.